What's up, guys? Welcome to the first of many 8-9 road trips. The purpose of these road trips is to team up with subject matter experts to bring you guys the latest and the greatest. If you recognize the background, you already know that I'm at the Strength First headquarters. If you don't, you need to follow at Alejandro Ferret or at Strength First Official. This guy has some great tutorials and some powerful videos. This guy benched 452 pounds, weighing in at 205. That's 2.25 times his body weight. So I think this guy knows a little bit about bench press. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so here we got the man himself, Alex Ferret. We're going to talk about setup. So, Alex, how would one go ahead and set themselves up to actually perform a bench press?
All right, Mike. So, guys, real quick, when we were first going ahead and start out with the bench press, obviously we go ahead and sit down. Once you go ahead and accommodate yourself, get ready, you want to go ahead and lay back and lay those straps onto the bench, grabbing the bar and positioning yourself. All right, guys, so now that I've gone ahead and laid back onto the bench and got my hands set up, like I was saying, first thing we want to look at is where our hand positioning is. Okay, whether you take a close grip or a wider grip, you want to have your hands even against or on the nerve. All right, so I go ahead and get my hands tight. I take about a thumb width away from the beginning of the smooth, from the end of the smooth. I grab the bar tight and commence by breaking the bar, trying to get my elbows in together.
When you say breaking a bar, what's your cue here? Am I telling them to bring their pinkies together?
So when you say breaking the bar, you could keep your hands out and almost think about bringing your pinkies together. You know how that works? I like to say try to bring the elbows together. And the reason behind that is because getting the biggest and strongest grip on the bench is a lot more important than many people think. You recruit a lot more muscle fiber during the lift by just doing that. So we go ahead and we get ourselves set up. We break that bar. Get tight. Now the second step for me is going ahead and pulling my chest up by pulling my shoulders back. So as my chest rises, I pull my shoulders back. Now this creates a nice arch in my upper thoracic region. All right? From here, I go ahead and set my feet down comfortably and dig the ball of my feet and my toes into the ground. Now I've got a comfortable arch that's not arched too much in the lower back, and I'm ready to bench.
And you guys can't see that, but Alex is actually flat-footed right now. So he's not up on his toes. He started off on his toes, and then he drove his heels into the ground.
Right. So now I'm set up. Either I have someone spotting me or unracking the weight, or I will go ahead and unrack it myself. Once I lock out my elbows, now I'm ready to bench. By bringing the bar down right up to the end of the sternum, I go ahead and lower that with my elbows at about a 45-degree angle. Once I am ready to press, I go ahead and drive through the balls of my feet and finish the movement. So I'll go ahead and, you want me to run through a couple reps?
Yeah, I want them to understand when you say it's a little bit weird, we're doing an upper body movement, but yet you're saying you're driving through the balls of your feet. So you're generating strength actually through a total body movement. So you're generating strength coming up your legs and then pressing into your arms, correct?
Correct. So as I lower the weight, you see my body kind of decompress. And now I go ahead and drive that strength and that power right through the feet again, rising the chest and finishing at a locked out position at the top, continuously braking against the bar. So I'll run through 5 reps so you guys can kind of see the movement, and I'll exaggerate it just a tad. Go ahead and relax.
Alex, talk to me a little bit about breathing.
So when we're going ahead and breathing on the bench press, you want to breathe at the top of the lift. You take a deep breath before unracking. Don't breathe once the bar is already unracked, because you're going to lose a lot of the internal pressure that you can, intra-abdominal pressure, that you can create in your abdomen. So by losing that pressure, you can kind of really decompress at the bottom of the lift, and you can get stuck and not have as much pop, as you would say, as watching some of the big guys when you go ahead and bench. You kind of are like, whoa, the weight's just flying right off his chest. How's that happening? It's because of the breathing. So you breathe right at the top of the movement. As you get to the top of your rep, you may go ahead and release. You take another deep breath, and you go ahead and commence your second rep. So you want to breathe at the top of each lift.
Got it. Any other further cues as a coach that I would deliver to some of my members when they're actually in the middle of pressing it? Would it be internal rotation, bring your pinkies together, nice deep breath? What would you suggest as a coach that I can help these guys out?
The biggest thing when it comes to bench pressing is that many of us try to get the weight off of us. versus getting ourselves away from the weight. So my biggest lifts, I've had to actually go back down and start lifting a lighter load just to kind of get comfortable and going back to the basics and saying, okay, I'm not pushing this weight away from me, I'm pushing myself away from the weight. And that keeps me tight and firm onto that bench and allows me to finish my lift today nice and strong.
So it's very similar to the old adage joke of instead of push-ups, they're earth downs. We're pushing ourselves, we're pushing the earth away from us.
Exactly. We're pushing ourselves away from the bar.
Got it. Anything else you need to add?
I think that's pretty much it. We can go ahead and put a couple clips now for you guys to watch of the bar loaded. And
copy. Guys, hope you got a lot out of this. Alex Ferret, follow him on Instagram. We'll be back here to work on some squats and some deadlifts.